This is a live Channels television event.
With the Executive Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chief Yeso Ezenwo Wike. Of course, as usual, it's a pan-Nigerian television network show. So I have with me 4 of Nigeria's leading television networks. We have the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. We have Channels Television. We have Television Continental TVC. And of course, we have Africa Independent Television. So let me quickly introduce my colleagues who are representing each of these networks. Let me start from the Nigerian Television Authority. We have here with us Fisayo Ogun Fuyi. Fisayo is the national head political desk of the Nigerian Television Authority. Fisayo, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good morning, Your Excellency.
Sitting next to Fisayo is my very good brother, Kayode Okikiolu. Kayode, of course, represents Channels Television. Kayode, good to see you too.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
And of course, sitting very close to me here is Mike Okoche. Mike is is a general. Is it general anchor or
Senior anchor?
Senior anchor of Television Continental TVC. Mike, good to see you too.
Good morning, Mr. Governor. Good to see you.
And of course, maybe my colleagues will join me in welcoming our chief host. Chief host in the sense that he has invited us first to be here, but then he's our guest because we are hosting him on this program. So good to see you, sir. The man who's wearing 2 caps.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, you don't introduce yourself.
Well, I assume that I did. My name is Benga Aruleva, and of course, I'm of Africa Independent Television.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Excellency.
Thank you.
Right. The last time we had this series was about a month ago, and between then and now, a lot has happened in the ever-fluid Nigerian polity. So we'll be taking up some of these issues, and maybe we should start from the home front. You are in the news again, not that you ever left the media space, really. But of course, one issue that is trending seriously is your recent action to de-recognize, as it were, one of your former predecessors in office, Sir Celestine Omeha. A lot of people are reading political vendetta into all of this. Why would you do this to somebody that a lot of people have come to identify as your friend?
Thank you very much, America. And let me welcome all of you to Port Harcourt. It's most unfortunate that whatever you do, particularly now that we're in political period, everything you do, people attach it to politics. You do right, nobody will know that, nobody will talk about whether you are right. Unfortunately, again, whatever that happens in Rivers State now, they say, look, it's because so persons, so people are with Atiku. And that is why I'm doing what I'm doing. People say it's vindictiveness. It will be quite unfair. It will be quite unfair that for anybody to say that. If it was vindictiveness in the first place, I would have refused it. When the State Assembly came to me that this is what they want to do, why would I have refused it? In 2007, May 27, it's usually the birthday of my predecessor, Rotimi Amechi. I was the council chairman then. All of us who were supporting Amechi then to be governor, we took out adverts to congratulate him on his birthday. This was 27th of May, 2007. As we still have about 7 months to go. That tenure. Omeha was sworn in May 29th, 2007 as governor. Immediately he was sworn in, Omeha dissolved us. Because we took adverts congratulating my predecessor, Rotimi Amechi. So that alone, having it in mind, and if I want to be vindictive, there's no way I would have recognized Omeha. That shows vindictiveness. You did this to me, I will also do you back. But when the assembly mooted the idea that, look, you've been a governor, there's no way, for whatever reasons, anybody can say he was never a governor. They are the lawmakers. And they said, look, that's okay, go ahead. And they did it. And if there are emerging facts now that shows that, look, what we did was wrong. Because it would look as if we are challenging the Supreme Court. And that we have always talked about this state respecting the rule of law.
But did it have to happen at a time it fell out with you?
Oh, fell out with me. Is it not in PDP?
Well,
I mean, PDP
a lot of people said it's more towards the presidential candidate of your party now.
How?
And that it was because of that that the State House of Assembly took that decision.
Did he not support me for the primaries? So, if he did not support me, and then you would have said, okay, he was fighting me. So what was that going to do?
A question, Your
Am I
Excellency.
fighting Atiku?
Yes. So a question, Your Excellency, that might emanate from that is the fact that if you, agreed that the House of Assembly should go ahead with it at that time, and now there's a reversal of this, and it's not as if, the recipient clamored for, what happened. Why now tell him to refund, all the monies?
If what was done was illegal, it was not me that said so. I'm not a member of the assembly. I'm not a lawmaker. I'm an executive. But the point I'm saying is that if I was to show vindictiveness, I was to do it in that 2015. Because this was a man who dissolved the councils simply because we took advertorial, congratulating someone for his birthday, who was his rival, who was his enemy. And then I suffered it. I did not complete my tenure as the chairman of local government. 7 months. So what I'm trying to say that if I was to show vindictiveness, as at 2015, that when I was to show vindictiveness, why should I recognize this one who deserves, who allowed me to complete my tenure?
Perhaps the political enemy there wasn't him, but Rotimi Amechi.
No. I just came at 2015. And I must also tell you, when I was running for governorship, the primaries, Omega did not support me. The facts are clear.
I thought you said he supported you for the primaries.
No, I'm talking about presidential.
Okay.
I'm talking about governorship then.
Oh, I see.
He was one of those who didn't want me to be. So that alone should even make me not to recognize you.
But help us understand this, Your Excellency. How is it that facts just emerged? The court ruling, by the way, was since 2007, right?
Yes.
So how is it that the facts just emerged 15 years after? And I recall that usually, before those decisions are taken, you get advice from the Attorney General. There's institutional memory such that you look at those judgments and say, oh, the court has made a pronouncement. So isn't it curious that it's just 15 years after that those facts that are actually out there, really for everybody, just emerged?
15 years, how?
Maybe he meant what? He meant 2015.
15 years. I've not been in office for 15 years.
No, I'm saying the court's ruling that said he wasn't a candidate in the election.
Yes.
I mean, it's been way before he came into office. It's out there. But you said that it was based on new discoveries, that he now took that decision to reverse it. So isn't it curious that you just found out that?
What is curious, that today, I'm not aware of certain events that took place yesterday. Then when I left office, I became aware. And I said, how did this thing happen? I was not aware. But I'm now aware. First of all, being aware, what can I do to remedy that? I cannot do anything because I'm no longer in the office. But I'm in the office. I've become aware. And what was done was wrong. What is wrong in remedying it?
So you were not aware in 2015?
No, I've just given you
About
illustration.
Okay, but
I'm saying that for
point at
so
me.
what I'm saying.
Right.
I've just given an illustration. Listen, I'm in office today. I've left tomorrow. I will leave tomorrow. People are bringing facts to me. Ah, this happened. I said, how can you say that? I was not aware. And in that situation, what do? I can't make amends. I've left office. Okay, I'm not in office. And something that has happened has now come to me that, look, see what happened. You may not have been aware of this. What do I do now in the office? I have a right to amend.
So perhaps
what I'm trying to say is that if you are saying assembly, why were they not aware? You go and ask assembly, why were they not aware?
But
and there's no, let me finish.
Right.
So the public will get all gist. That's why we say, why do we always impute
motive
in everything that's been done? What you should have asked. Take for example, what assembly did that time, were they right? Were they right? If they were not right, and are trying to correct themselves now, why do you read meaning to read? Why didn't you read meaning when they did what they did? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
So,
for political sake, couldn't you have saved him?
Political for his own election.
Couldn't you have saved him?
Political what?
For the politics of it.
In fact, it's even affecting us by taking that decision. APC now said that they were right. So why would I want to hurt myself politically? APC is now accusing us that they were right. So you cannot see that. What you should be able to praise the State Assembly, but for taking the bull by the horn. To say, look, now we have further facts. Okay, take for example, Supreme Court has given judgment several times. Right? The same Supreme Court have come out to say, look, with the circumstances now, that position cannot continue to stand. Now, why would you not say, why are you not changing that now?
I think these are two different things.
No, they are not two different things.
Because the Supreme Court did not...
Mr. Governor, they liken it to the case of Ernest Shonikon, who in the eyes of the law originally is not the head of state. But then the point there is that at a point in time, he presided over the affairs of the country.
Yes.
So the period of time that Celestine Umehi presided over the affairs of this state, yes, of course, he did a lot of things for the state.
I don't know which court gave that judgment about Shonikon was only appointed, was not elected.
But he was recognized as one of the
military government.
Okay.
First of all, military government is an aberration. Military government is an aberration.
Maybe the closest to what we have there is the case.
Perhaps to avoid digressing, Your Excellency, to also, build on what Kayode has said, something is being reversed.
Yes.
And then you have put in some ultimatum on it again.
Yes.
It looks to the, common man that there is a bit of, if not retribution.
Who is the common man? Who has reached the common man?
Well, we are saying that, for instance, if you put an ultimatum to something because you're just reversing it, it looks a bit punitive, or as if you're saying, he did something wrong.
Okay, has the man said it is punitive? Has he challenged it? If it is punitive, the man who is affected will challenge it. You see, the problem we have, you are the one imputing. The assembly said, look, you return this money because you ought not to collect the money in the first place. And they'll give you 7 days. What's wrong? You say, look, I can't pay 7 days. I can pay in 1 month's time. Although I can't pay, you are wrong. You challenge it. We must allow the law to grow. We must allow the law. You see, most of the things that happen, we don't give room for people to challenge actions of government. We're always sitting down imputing that this, the common man said. And this time I ask people, who are the common men? When did you meet these common people?
Your Excellency.
You're merely saying what you have in mind.
No, I'm saying
Your Excellency, Your Excellency, this was a resolution of the House. And I'm wondering, at what point did it become something that you had to sign? Because it was a resolution of the House. And then the issue of the enforcement of that resolution. Where does that leave Sir Celestine now?
First of all, when he said, is there any law that says that if a resolution is passed to the chief executive, it must take him 1 year, 2 months?
No, what I mean is it a law?
No, first of all, a resolution.
Because we're wondering what to sign.
I'm correct. So that you know how government operates.
Yes.
A resolution for directing the chief executive, that is the governor, to implement this resolution.
Okay.
Just like they did last time, by recognizing him, I implemented immediately. Now they did the same thing. I have not implemented immediately, and now there's a motive.
No, I'm wondering whether it's the instrument of implementation that you signed.
I have signed the instrument and it has been gazetted.
Where does that leave Sir Celestine?
Well, he has to pay or he can just in court.
It's been 7 days. Has he paid?
That is not for me to know. I will find out from the Attorney General.
What if he doesn't pay? What happens?
The Attorney General would advise. And I won't do the work of another person. The Attorney General will advise. Now that he has refused to pay, what is the next action to take?
But as of today, you're not aware that he has paid. Because it was exactly 7 days that you actually signed that instrument.
I can tell you something. Allow people to do their work. If it's exactly 7 days, so why not allow the 7 days to pass and ask, assume by the end of the work of day, that he has paid. So this answer I will be, if I say I have not paid, and then I go back to the office.
Because then you said that...
Listen, so that you get it clear.
Right.
Because the day has not ended.
Okay, so there's still some room for him to pay.
I mean, why not allow the day to expire? And then the 7 days are fully expired, and he has not paid. And then I call the Attorney General, and as I told you, listen, what has happened? Now that he has not paid, what actions are available for government to take? It's only the advice of the Attorney General that will let us know the next step that will take.
All right, Mr. Governor, one other issue that has raised a lot of eyebrows is the recent appointments in the states. It is said now that you have about 50,000 advisors. It's on the news. Special assistants.
Yes.
And then there are also about over 300 or about 319 liaison officers within the wards in the state.
Yes.
And you have just about 8 months to leave office.
Yes.
One is saying, isn't that a burden on the state government at this time?
Sorry, Your Excellency, if you permit me, I'll keep that question in view.
Okay.
Because there's a related question to the issue of political vindictiveness.
Okay.
If you defend that of Sir Celestine as not political vendetta, how do you justify the revocation of the parcel of land given to Africa Independent Television?
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, again, everything that happens now, they say, oh, because you are supporting Atiku. In fact, if you cannot sleep well, it's because you are supporting Atiku. African Independent does not have any parcel of land. If you can prove with a document that this land was given to him by the government of Rivers State, we will pay anything he claims. People must get the truth. In fact, you should also know that Rivers State government invested in African Independent. You know that. So why would we be vindictive on the investment we made? The Rivers State government invested in African independence. And they were also vindictive on our investment. I did consider. They claimed that 2003, that the former government of the Peter gave them 43.8 hectares of land to build the regional office of the African Independent Television. 2003, for those of you who are good in mathematics, 2003 to today is how many years?
19 years.
19 years to build the regional office, 43.8 hectares of land in the city of Port Harcourt. He did not apply to RCFO till Dr. Peter left. He did not apply from 2007 when Rotimi Amechi came on board. 8 years he did not apply. When I came on board in May 29, 2015, he applied to me to issue certificate of occupancy. on September 28, 2015, I minuted to the Minister of Lands. Minister of Lands wrote back to me that, look, there's no document that he owned any property. And that's okay, replying. And they did. They were sending correspondences. Certainly, one of these days, sometime last month, I think so, I saw a call. I answered. It was his son, Raymond Jr. I said, what is it? They want to see me. I said, what's the problem? He said they have problem over the land where they are. I said, what are they saying? He said, Assembly invited him to tender the letter of allocation. I said, do you have the letter of allocation? He said, no. I said, so what do I do? If you have letter of allocation, I will be able to say, okay, yes, even though you have not developed that land, we can find a way for government to say I can rescue you. But in this case, there's no letter of allocation.
All right.
So how do you now verify the claim? You see what I say? Everything is politics, politics, politics. I'm giving the history this started. Now they say they now went and paid 86 million. What does 86 million show? Do you pay 86 million as if you have allocation paper? But the Attorney General wrote to us, advising us, say, listen, AIT does not have anything. Anything. Because what gives him that equity is the allocation of land, or the right to say, yes, I may have violated the rules by not developing the place for this number of years, not even applying for the CFO for this number of years. However, there's somewhere where he built a cubicle. The government can cede that to him. Cede that to him where he has built. But government takes the rest of the portion of land. So what is vindictiveness? You know, people will not come out and tell you the same. How can a whole management, a corporation, can tell you the allocation they have is missing? Go to land, it's not there. And now you are blaming me. And then they are saying now it's political vindictiveness simply because you supported article. Anybody that, you know, if you've done something wrong, if you take action, it's because you are supporting the article. Meanwhile, this matter has started before this article started. Assembly have been having probably demonstrated. I didn't even know until the son called me.
So there's nothing political about
That's
it?
not the political. I've told you, show me allocation paper.
Right.
If he shows me allocation paper
There's
now,
a pending question.
Yes,
if he shows me allocation paper now, the state government will pay him any damage he will claim.
So maybe to his question.
All right. So back to the question I was asking earlier. A lot of persons have raised eyebrows regarding some of the appointments you have made recently. Advisors, you have about 50,000 advisors now, and you have just about less than 8 months to leave office. How much of a burden that is to the state government, especially when they have to be paid with taxpayers' money, is raising a lot of eyebrows.
Okay. How is it a burden? Okay, take for example, who determines whether it's a burden on government? The people appointed, are they not reverse people? Are they not going to be paid? Are they civil servants? But you're adding more money? Or you're even employing those who don't have employment? It's not the duty of government to reduce poverty. It's not the duty of government to empower its people. If I have money, as I tell you now, this early morning we met, we are going to increase it to 100,000. It is not, you see, if we don't have the funds to pay, that is a problem.
So this is like a project?
In fact, it is
political
part of
empowerment?
Yeah, it's not political. It is part of what we promised our people. If the next government coming cannot go with it, it's an appointment. The government can look, I can't deal with this. Right? The government is not tied to continue with it. But for me, information is key. Remember, This 319th
Liaison.
What
was
license?
it the first time I appointed him? It was that last year. The 40 local government liaison, is it the first time? People just forget easily. What we have done is to listen. We don't get enough information we are supposed to get. What are the people saying at the polling unit level? What are they saying? Are they happy with our government? You go and find out so we can make adjustments before we leave.
So this is a political masterstroke for you, just to get to the grassroots.
It is you to tag what it is.
No, you say you want to get to the grassroots.
I have not tagged that. But you are entitled to say, based on what you had me say, this is what it is.
Are you going to be paying them, and how much would you be paying them?
That is not your business to know how much.
No, I think it's public
I don't need to know.
But they are political appointees, sir. Are they?
By the time they are being paid,
Yes.
you ask.
Yes.
You can get that.
Are they political appointees?
They are political appointees.
So
They are not civil servants.
Okay.
They are political appointees. We are also going to employ civil servants before we leave.
Just to be clear, are you increasing it to 100,000, as you said, or you're
I said
considering
today
it?
we met this morning.
Right.
We are going to agree to 100,000.
So now
and they are all
100.
reverse people.
Yeah. But when you talk
Why
about...
are you worrying about this number? What's the, do you know
No, just to be clear, because it sounded like you were saying you're planning to, but now you say you will.
I said, look, if I don't tell you authoritatively,
Right.
we will increase it to 100,000.
100,000.
Yes, we'll do that. Our people are so happy. If I tell you the kind of text message I'm getting everywhere, people say, look, I want to be part of this. I want you, please. I have no, look, the unemployment rate is too much. Why are you doing what you can do? By creating jobs, by employing civil service, you should also know that it's not enough.
So this is the infrastructure of the stomach that you spoke about.
You have always used the word stomach. I don't know about stomach. But again, if you say stomach, if you are working, you feed your stomach. If you are working, but if you don't have work, will you feed your stomach? You will feed your stomach. You're talking about clients.
Your Excellency, in this period,
Yeah.
would there be a mechanism, for instance, to gauge if there is value in what you have done in terms of what they would bring to the table?
Do you know what information is already, how important information is? Part of the problem we have is not obtaining enough information to execute and plan and execute. In fact, most of the problem we have today in this country is because it's not even you, the media. Because I read the front page of newspapers yesterday that I took a sense Dr. Dele, David Mark, Igori, to Wike. I was with Dr. Dele with him yesterday evening for over 2 hours. Nobody has ever spoken to him on anything. Where you get the information? No, let me tell you. And it's a very misleading information. And the front pages of newspapers. So, if you have your accurate information, so many things will go well. But if you just say one place and just, okay, I'm sure they are doing this, it's sell out to the people. That is not fair.
How are we not sure he wasn't there to see you based on that report?
How do you know what?
How are we sure that he wasn't? You said you met him.
Most of even the one that involves me, most of the stories you carry, totally wrong. You begin to wonder. Sometimes I sit back. Where are they getting this information from? Me that is involved. I'm not even aware of what you're talking about.
Dr. Odili confirmed to you that nobody in PDP
That is nobody,
has asked him to be an emissary to
nobody. Let the person come out.
And you didn't have discussions about the reconciliation and all of that?
What is that? What do I have to do with Colonel? It's my leader in my state. We meet from time to time. I brief him from time to time. He's one of the leaders I brief.
But what has he told you regarding
Told me
the
on
issues between you and the presidential
That
candidate?
is not your business. What the father told his son is not what the son will come to the public and begin to tell you. That's a private conversation.
Yeah, but has he
But why
tried...
I said this to you,
Yes.
when it shall become public.
Yeah.
And I'm only trying to tell you, there's nothing like that. So you don't go further to ask me what to discuss again.
Well, there's no harm in
But
trying,
will
right?
you listen to
That's our
him,
job.
right?
But
Will you listen to him if tomorrow he calls you and says, PDP has asked me to be an emissary between you and the party?
He will,
Will you listen as a political
he's
father?
a very respected, reasonable father. before he advises you, he knows that this is right and this is wrong. So it's not a question of whether if PDP go, and begin to tell him lies, then he will come to he won't do that. He will tell PDP, no, this is wrong. So it's not a father that you think that because you've gone to him, that he will just call his son and come and do this. He's a reasonable father. It's one who respects so much in the state. So that is why, have you seen of all the governors, former governors, do you see him being a member of a former governors forum? Do you see him go and stay in Abuja? He's there. For government, do you see him in government house? You don't need to be important by running around people. People respect you, whom you are. Anywhere you are, people can find you. It's not only when you're running around to be attending associations meeting. Some people are relevant by being members of former government forum. They are not important in their state to deliver votes. So what gives them that recognition is that they are members of a former governors forum. I don't want to be important as a member of former governors forum. I want to be important that in my state, people respect me and I can deliver my votes. And therefore, if PDP wants anything, they have to come to my state and talk to me because they know I'm very important in my state, not because of my voice in the former governors forum. No, I won't do that.
Your Excellency, that has taken us to the larger politics now. We thought we were going to reserve that for the latter, but now you have taken us there. Is it not curious, therefore, because the news has been there for 3 days or more, that these three eminent leaders of the PDP have been drafted into the Make Peace with Wike project. And you are telling us now that you met with one of them, and there seems to be nothing like that, that is not even aware of such things. Yet, is to the public knowledge that the PDP has put on hold its campaigns because of that.
Like I said, where you get all this information, I do not know.
That's what the PDP says, that they have put their campaigns on hold for these three leaders to be able to meet.
Who said so?
The PDP.
Who spoke in PDP? PDP is not a human being. Who spoke? See, if we are insinuating things, well, we are not aware of something. Nobody has even, the last people I saw, the board of trustees who came here, and I told them, look, you don't want to hear the truth or you want to hear the truth. And they said they want to hear the truth. And when I told them, it was even difficult for them to stand up. There are so many things people do not know. For Christ's sake, what is the problem? That you are a party that wants to take over the reins of governance in the country. We know, Nigerians know, the problems we are facing today. One hallmark of leadership is integrity. If a leader does not have integrity, forget it. Because part of the problem, in fact, the major problem we have in this country today is leadership. And one of the cardinal principles of leadership is a leader must be a man of integrity. A man who will tell people this. A man who will be firm. A man who will be courageous. To do those things that even people find it difficult to do. Right? You are presenting a man, who is the head of the party now, the chairman of the party, who has no integrity. To be the one to lead the campaign, to take the reins of governance. You know me very well. If I tell you to come and see me in government house by 5 p.m. and you come by 3, they say the governor has traveled overseas. Come on, how will you feel? If he has integrity, he will call you. Don't come. I have an urgent message I have to leave now. That people are asking for our country to understand. We mean what we say. We implement whatever we say. You are bringing in reference to go and interpret the constitution of the party upside down to suit you. We have not had presidential primary election before the chairman of the party said that if the president candidate emerges from his area, he will quit. Which means he knew.
Not if he becomes president.
No, that's not true. Look at the constitution of the party. Section 73C. All political and elective offices must be zoned. And that was why we were clamoring. Let's do this zoning now. The chairmanship was now zoned to the north. They came up. The presidency should not be zoned. Contrary to the provisions of Section 73C. Now you see where we have boxed ourselves in. The two major politicians have now gone to the same zone. And we are saying, listen, let us play the role that everybody, you take. Look, there's one song Igbo people sings, just like, Igbo people, they sing this song, say, Ibirio, Ibirio, live and let me live. Take and let me take. There will be peace. There will be unity.
You're not a good musician.
Exactly.
But if you take everything, that's where you have problems.
Yeah.
What are we contending? Chairman go to the south. President candidate is in the north. What is too big about that? And people are coming to that the constitution says it's only when the president has emerged and the chairman will go there. People who are in London interpreting their own party constitution here, who do not even have any polling unit to vote. You see them, they bring them to channels, they bring them to AIT, they bring them to... I have never seen a thing like this. People who do not even know the polling unit they belong to are those interpreting our own constitution. In order to... I have never seen how people that want to win an election. The governor of Rivers State will not be chairman of the party. Or the governor of Rivers State said, look, now that president candidate has gone to the north, chairman go to the south. What is the problem there?
Your Excellency, you know, we enjoyed that a little bit of music and song.
Yes.
But we need to ask you where this dance will lead us. You have maintained the stand, and you have also said that, you know, nobody has reached out.
If you stand for equity, justice and justice. If you stand for equity, fairness and justice, ask yourself that question. That you say, let there be equity. Let there be fairness. Let there be justice. Where would they take it to? This will be done in the right way. Society will move on well. But if you don't want things to be done in the right way, then you are the one causing crisis. And then you don't have leadership skill. You don't have it. This is time to show leadership skill.
On whose part now?
On the part of those who are the leaders of the party. Atiku Abubakar is the president candidate. He is the one that feels the pain. Why will you tell me at this level I am until when you finish the election that when the chairman will do? So what is the importance of the chairman? What role again will he play? What role again will he play? If he wins, now listen. Atiku will do election February. He wins. Then they start considering who will be who. He won't wait till May. Decisions would have been taken. Who is there for the South to defend it? You tell me the vice president can. What do you mean by that?
You have continued to talk about the character of the national chairman of your party. I remember the last time we were with you here, you made that serious allegation that he collected about 1 billion naira in Lagos.
Yes.
And curiously, there has been no comment or reaction.
There cannot be any comment. No, don't.
And we see a lot of things that has happened.
Listen. I told you that day, I'm governor of Rivers State. I'm not governor of I'm governor of Rivers. I don't just come out and speak. If let IU say he did not collect 1 billion. In fact, let me also tell you, IU collected 100 million naira from a governor and was going to renovate our Democratic Institute. And then he went back to NWC and took the 100 million naira of doing the work.
Double payment.
What kind of system is that?
And all of these things are documented.
I am telling you of a governor. Let him say no.
So why is the party not probing
Oh,
this?
that's what I'm saying. Let you say no. He didn't collect this 100 million from a governor. For Christ's sake.
Which governor is that?
Let him say no first. I will tell you who. Let him say, you see, these are things people don't know. If not for the love of this party, if we release what we have, if we do what we have, IU children will go to him and say we're no longer a children.
It's interesting. Are these allegations, are they grave offenses under your party's constitution? If they are, why are they not being prosecuted?
What do you mean? Who is going to prosecute you? Who is the chairman of the party? When you saw people returning money to NWC, and they are saying that, oh, it was approved, let them show the minutes where it was approved. You know, people, my problem in this country, the way Nigerians are being deceived, the way anytime you see politicians come out, whatever they tell you, you begin to hop here and there. Simple. You made over 14 billion naira. And people are saying, look, we are going in for election. Ask them, the election that took place in Ekiti, how much did the party send? Ask them. The only thing you see, there are people who believe, oh, I use my man. Are you protecting me what's having my state? Are you gave me the executive? If not, that kind of thing. What will you do to me? What will you do? Can you come and vote? Tell us where to vote. He doesn't have the capacity to do that. So why am I going to be afraid of him? What have I done for me in my life? For me to show, oh, you know, he helped you. Where? Rather, you should be grateful to me. And other people. So there's no anybody should say, this is why people say vindictive, or because it's not with you. That's not the issue.
Are you saying
we have not done primaries? A man came out and said, if the president candidate comes, I will leave. Honor it. Integrity. It's honor. It's part of the hallmark of leadership. If you cannot do that, you stand before Nigerians and tell Nigerians, I stand for today for PDP. Anything PDP tells you, we will do it. You will do it. The simple one you said, you have not done it. And we are trying to help the party to remove this burden from us. And you are taking Nigeria for granted. Don't worry. All this thing will die down. Die down where?
Are you saying, Your Excellency, that those payments to the WC members actually had ulterior motives? They were not for
of course,
what the public was.
Of course.
What would be the ulterior motive?
Look, calm down. Let me even tell you how I had the money. When it was even discussed at National Working Committee about this money, you said, everybody calm down. That Nigerians are interested, that Nigerians will bring money to the party. I don't want us to go, and that's why, you know, I just feel that we are not pushed to the wall. If we are pushed to the wall, what the people will hear will be something else. What they should do, I've always said, let's move our party. Forget about this jamboree, doing this and that.
Are you referring to the campaign rally?
I don't know, I say jamboree.
Which of the jamborees?
There are so many jamborees people carry out.
Oh, I see.
They go to this. You see, the election is in the states. It's in the local governments. It's in the wards. It's in the units. It's in the unit. There's no way I can sit in anywhere. You say, I use the chairman of the party. There's no way.
Your Excellency, you have said you are,
There's
fighting a just cause.
That irrevocable position.
No, because you are denying my people their own rights.
Yes.
It would be foolish of me from the south to abdicate that position of chairmanship. Nobody should talk to me about interest of party. You have to talk to me about the interest of my people. You are taking this. Give them this. It's a problem.
You fear northern domination?
I was just going to
It
ask.
has nothing to do with northern domination. Most of the people who are supporting IU are not only not from the south. who are political hypocrites, who like to take from the crumbs of the table after the masters have eaten.
Your Excellency, I was just going to ask.
Look, I'm not, look, by the grace of God, I'm from River State. Nobody talks with us because of this, because you want to be this, you want to, no. No, our integrity is at stake. Bring the chairman, send it to anywhere you want to send it in the south. But let it be that chairmanship is in the south. It's your own eye as far as the party is concerned. The president candidate from the north. Major two positions, major. You don't nobody compromises at all about it. What would I tell my children tomorrow? What would I tell my children tomorrow?
Well, Your Excellency, we're due for
let me just one more question, and then we'll go on the
just to cap, what His Excellency has said. That, yes, you have maintained the stand, and it seems to be cast in stone. But what I'm saying is, from your, perspective now, as it is now, as things stand now, is a just cause, but is it a lost cause? Based on, from the other side, since you have not had much in terms of response.
I don't understand what you mean by lost cost.
Since you have not gotten any response from them, are you feeling that, there's no response from them? So what happens? You have, the last time this interview was done...
In every, have you participated in guerrilla warfare before? If you have, there are stages. Do you understand me? This is what we have said. We have given social time. If the time expires, what do? Let's get to the bridge. And we'll cross the bridge. But all you should know, we are not going to back down. Well, because it is not something anybody can even... in fact, it don't even... When people say go and talk to Wike, and I see that I ask them questions, and they bow, they run away. Some of them are not hypocrites. They go and tell the president candidate anything. When they come to me, they can't even tell me that. They can't. But I look into their eyes and say, where are you from? What do you tell your children? Tell me. When you go home now, and your children ask you, what do you answer? Is it what you tell them? You cannot tell them that, look, I stand in principle, I'm a principle man, this is what is right, and let the right thing be done. Our problem in this country is that we always accommodate evil, and then to come and preach for the interest of the party. But when something you intentionally did.
We have to accommodate a break at this point. We've got into a break. Let's take a breather. And when we return, still a lot of issues to discuss, actually. So please stay with us. Welcome back to this special broadcast. It's a media chat with the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. It's an outdoor setting here in Port Harcourt, the state capital. And we've been talking about major issues, local politics, the issues within the opposition People's Democratic Parties, and other, allied issues. I still have my colleagues here with me, and it's been an interesting conversation. So, Your Excellency, thank you for staying with us. Just maybe to give a sense to our viewers, they may have seen this broadcast 3 weeks ago, the conversations that came up, and they're wondering, has anything materially changed? Has there been any form of improvement in your relationship, the issues you have raised, your demands with your party, the leadership, over the past 3 weeks since that last conversation? Has there been any improvement?
I can tell you, because they are not sincere. They send one person here, this person has a different idea. They send the other group has a different idea from the other one. They send the other one who says, oh, you see, I didn't know that this was the situation. And just like I have just told you here, there's nothing so strong. Just that. Let us do things the way our party has always done things. Let's do things that Nigerians would know, yes, we are really to include everybody, inclusivity. Don't marginalize any group. Well, and it is not as if this is something that's so difficult. It's something that the person who is sitting there volunteered. He knew that there's no way the president candidate and the chairmanship will come from the same area. That was why he said, if it comes to my place, I will resign. Knowing fully well that it has not been the practice of the party to have these two major positions come from the same zone. When people talk about Obasanjo and this, we just laugh at them. They forget that Yaradua was presidential candidate. And apart there was a certain president who was leaving. Okay, assuming even it happened there, assuming. It was not against the constitution of our party. You know, you see people come up to say, okay, take for example, when Buhari was campaigning, he said this, he said that. If Nigerians vote for us, we'll do this. Now, Buhari now came to office. Why would people in Buhari government now say, after all, was not the same people who were doing, for example? What was done? Why did Nigerians vote for you? Because you say you are going to change those things that we are doing. Right. So nothing has materialized. Nothing.
There's been no improvement.
Nothing. They are just playing games. And you play games, you are not the only one who can play games.
And you can play that
Governor,
game.
You play game, I play game with you. You are serious, I'm serious with you.
Yeah, but what concerns do you have that going into, because there's a build-up to the election right now,
Yes.
facing the election in a divided house, how concerned are you that this could lead to your party not winning the election?
There's no divided house.
Right.
Just that people don't want to do the right thing. People don't want to do the right thing. Have I not left PDP? I mean, have I left PDP? I'm not left PDP. I'm not. I said I'm still in PDP, but do the right thing. Let me know that we are not being marginalized. That's what we're saying.
But are you worried that the campaigns have started and you are not part of this? You are not represented in the presidential campaign council?
Does the vote come from presidential campaign council?
So you're still campaigning for the candidates?
I'm campaigning for PDP Rivers.
But not for the candidate of the
Is
party.
he the only person? I don't know other candidates.
No, the question is direct.
I said we are campaigning
straightforward.
for PDP.
Okay, and that includes your presidential candidate.
Is he not in PDP?
All right, so just to be clear.
Is he not in PDP?
All right.
Why would you single him out? Why not talk of further? Don't have a good back win? Should he not win an election? Don't have another assembly? So if he win president, you lose all. Is he good?
All right, talking
So
about
you
the
should
campaign.
praise us that we are campaigning for PDP.
Talking about the campaigns, Your Excellency, you recently signed the Executive Order 21. And a lot of people are saying that by that singular executive act, you have poisoned the political campaign atmosphere in Rivers State, in the sense that by the words of that executive order, it will be practically impossible for opposition parties to campaign in Port Harcourt. Is that the intention? And if that is the intention, what necessitated that kind of...
It's most unfortunate. And again, I've told Nigerians, have you read it? What did you want to say? You see, in this country, because something was not done yesterday, does not mean that it cannot be done today. Or it cannot be done today, does not mean it will not be done tomorrow. What is the executive order talking about? Public schools. You go to campaign in public schools, you destroy our infrastructure, you dirty the environment, you go, government to go and replace it. If you want to use the civil center, you apply to government, you pay money, you go to stadium, you apply, government said deposit to somebody, and government now said, listen, from what has happened last time, 2019, we suffered so much. We cannot allow that again. If you want to use our public schools, deposit security money, so that if you destroy infrastructure or you dirty the environment, government will use that money to replace them and clean up the environment. And you're coming to say it's a way...
This law applies for everybody.
Every party.
Including your party.
Why is there any law different from any party? Yesterday our party met, and I have told them that, look, I will use them as an example. You have to write to the Commission of Education, pay the money, show you have paid. The money must go into the coffers of government and show your bank teller. And the Commission of Education does not do that, he is sacked immediately. Look, we must be serious in governance. What has that got to do with because you're the opposition party? Now you tell me, you go to schools and you break the classes, you have your talks, Some schools are in section now. Then we don't know. You go to school, and it affects the learning process. And we are trying to regulate all this. Sometimes they go, some people collect money at the bank, principals that were not aware. No, things must be regulated. And we have said any principal or headmaster or headmistress that allows this, that person will be dismissed. The chairman of local government are given the authority to stop any rally without approval.
So for those who say that this negates Section 91 of the Electoral Act, Section 40 of the Constitution,
what does it say?
And essentially saying that it's a public infrastructure anyway, and they're not using classrooms, they'll use the field. I've not seen any campaign anyway that holds in classrooms.
So when you see, when people come for campaign here, you come here, who told you people don't go to those areas? Who told you that? Hoodlums. It's not as a result of the campaign that you had a hoodlums that destroyed our property. Who will pay for it? What does Section 91 of the Electoral Act? We are not saying you cannot use the place. We are saying in using our property, you have to put security deposit. How does it negate? INEC are written to us, the schools they want to for election. And we have approved it. Why would INEC write to us? Because INEC know they don't have the schools. But they have written to us, and we have approved it. And you as a political party, government, INEC is a government agency, ordinarily. But INEC wrote to us, seeking for approval to use our public schools. I will say approve. And then you as a political party, you want to use the public schools, that you carry your talks, hooligans to destroy our property, and then you go. Tomorrow you come back and say, oh, this government has not done anything. Go to the schools, do infrastructure, no nothing. We won't allow that.
So there's no prerequisite, just apply. And you will consider.
And look, you know, Nigerians don't like, why not apply? And see whether you will not be given the approval. And pay the money. Pay the money.
But the money is not refundable. Suppose they...
Until you free the campaign.
Yeah. But the fee is not refundable. What if they use a facility and no damage was incurred? Shouldn't such political parties get a refund?
There's no way you will do campaign, you will clean up. There's no way. You know it. Water, people eat rice. Come see. A school environment, and then you go and tell the students, for children to go and clean it up. Won't allow that. And I dare anybody. I've heard so many people say they will kill us. I dare the person to go to any public school without approval of government. I dare the person. It's not to go on radio to say I will not. You will. You will. You must.
All right, let's get back into the politics of things. Recently, there was a national award that was given by the president, and one of the recipients is your vice presidential candidate of your party. And there was a statement credited to the candidate, and he said that the national award given to the vice presidential candidate of the PDP is a vindication of his choice, you know, in picking him as the vice presidential candidate. I wonder how that came to you, anyway.
Well, I read it. It's also unfortunate, the kind of leadership you have, if a leader would tweet that statement. I read it, and it's so unfortunate. I was conferred with this honor 2014 as the commander of the Order of Niger. I was given this honor 2014, 8 years ago, as commander of the Order of the Niger. So what is the statement? What does that mean? For Christ's sake, we are happy that the judge that they gave us in 2014, they've considered him too. So what are that to say they have been vindicated? What's the comparison? The candidate should know that I was given this 2014.
So you are a senior CON?
Yes. if there's anything like that. And that, you are aware that the president is going to confirm excellence award in infrastructure.
Yes.
Which is more important to me. Which means that people have seen what we are doing. Which means the government is happy with what we are doing for our people.
So if they were comparing CVs, as it were, with this latest award, maybe you even fit more to be the vice presidential candidate?
No. All I'm saying, the tweet he sent out was very bad. doesn't
Did you think it was personal?
It doesn't show a man who wants peace. And he was confronted. He was confronted. I said, oh, you did not give them permission. It's always, this is my problem. Everything the president would deny it. He denied that he was not the one who told them to do, but it was the Twitter handler. How would he do? Because anything about would know you're not aware. But the message has been sent out. So even if you go and put it down, we have read it. You see, these are the things that people are not sincere when they were dealing with you.
Your Excellency, sending
I was just going to quickly chip in the issue of award that Kayode brought in. The distinguished, that's the correct title, the correct award, Distinguished Award in Infrastructure Delivery. And it will be conferred on you on October 21. And coming from the quarters is coming from the federal government quarters. And considering the fact that you have always said that even your worst critics cannot play deaf or blind to the infrastructural revolution that has been going on in Rivers State. I'm wondering, how does this award, how does it make you?
Well,
how does it make you feel?
Initially, when I got the hit, when I got the letter, I called my leaders. Those of them that were not around, I sent the letters to them. What are they thinking of? What are their thoughts? And all of them gave positive remarks. Say, look, even though nobody can deny the fact of what we have done in this state, but this goes to confirm that Mr. President has shown leadership. But look, we're not in the same party. But actually, has he performed? Yes. And that's what I talk about leadership now. It's not whether the president is in your party or not. That's because honest. So that's what Mr. President has now shown. And these are the things I tell you what are the hallmarks of leadership. Right. And what he has done is to make some of us to think that, you may say sometimes some of the things we are told may not be necessarily correct. May not be necessarily correct. So for me, I feel honored. And my people feel honored.
So will you rate President Buhari as a great leader in that way? Because you said this is leadership quality. Yes.
No, the matter of fact, no. So that you don't make mistake. Don't generalize. I say one of the qualities of leadership. One of the qualities of leadership. So I'm not here to assess him, to say whether he's a great leader or not. If I see that he has shown leadership in this regard, does not mean he has not failed in certain areas. which is the problem of the country.
Excellency, I wanted to just take you back a little. We're talking about the issues of, the back and forth, of course, between your presidential candidate, the party itself, and yourself in terms of some of this your stand. Can't any of you just pick a call, for instance, instead of sending emissaries, talking to? Can't you just pick the phone?
What do you mean by picking a call? Did I not tell you? The phone when you implement. Had you not met with the 5 governors? Even his own governor was there. So when people say call, some people say one-on-one. The one I met one-on-one, what happened? So look, you must know this politics. Some people play along. They play time. Time is going. That's what they do. Oh, don't worry. Let's play with time. Let's continue to extend it. Let's continue to extend it. By December, January, nothing anybody can do again. Who are they teaching?
that's your area of strength. Fight to the finish, as it were. But some other people will say, maybe that's also a weakness. Is there any scenario where you can make a concession in all of this?
The concession we have made won't leave the party. That's not a concession.
And that's enough for you?
Assuming we say we're leaving the party, do you know the effect of that? If I can make a concession of not leaving the party, whether you like it or not, if I leave the party today, PDP cannot win in this state. And that is true. We're living with all our people. And that is the truth of the matter. And if we have made that concession to say we won't leave the party, we cannot support the party. However, let this man go, let the zone that's supposed to produce the chairman, produce the chairman. And you don't want to make a concession. What concession have they made? We had choices. You think that today, we the 5 governors are saying we're going to a party, and there will still be a PDP? You tell me. If the 5 governors today say we're leaving the party, forget all this noise people are making. We are very formidable. Very, very formidable. We are not just ordinary governors. We are very formidable, very strong. So, you can see people who are arrogant, who believe they're already there, they don't care about us. There's nobody who wants to win an election who will see this scenario and say, look, it is good for him. Then that person is caused not to win an election.
So it's a question of no retreat, no surrender.
Give the people their position, let them take their position.
So it's no retreat, no surrender.
So I should go and withdraw for what belongs to my people. This is what you're telling me. Is it the advice you want to give to me?
So when
people ask you, when people say, people are talking before, because they didn't give vice president. If I tell you that history, ask anybody. They just told you, now that you know, what is the point? Implement what you said. Implement, why is it so difficult? I know what I don't like. I see some elders. You see, being an elder shouldn't be because of their age. I see some elders. You see, being an elder shouldn't be because of their age. Being an elder shouldn't be because you're an old one. No. Elders are those who are supposed to take their 2 eyes and look inwards and say, listen, this is wrong. This is right. That's what elders are supposed to do. Some people are just elders because by their age they say they are elders. Sometimes I wonder, I ask them a question. You mean you sit down like this, you come and talk to me? What is being done? Is it right? They say no. Okay, go and tell them. They will go again. They never away. They cannot even say it, but they will only come and tell you what they are doing is wrong. Go and tell them. They will not.
All right, the weather is becoming inclement, but we know that this is Port Harcourt. It changes from minute to minute. I certainly have this finicky feeling that this thing will also stop maybe in a matter of minutes from now. Let's see whether the weather will be kind to us to drag this to an end. Otherwise,
you are taking our time. You said the weather. Well, you are taking the whole time.
You used to ask a question.
So let's, Your Excellency, whether we like it or not, the truth of the matter is that the formidable team of people who have taken a stand with you, if this is a no-shift ground, it will be injurious, especially when you are talking about games. And games have half-time, they also have full-time. Getting towards full-time.
You are the one that said to be injurious. Those who are the corridor, they should know. If they don't believe to be injurious, why do you worry yourself?
Are you not both, are you not all thinking in the same direction of trying to win?
No, that's why we are saying the right thing should be done, because we want to win. If we don't want to win, we'll close our eyes. But because we want to win, so we can do the right thing so that this will be a foregone conclusion.
Well, it will seem...
Because this may happen again, but I just pray that it doesn't happen.
Ask the question.
Yes. 2 days ago, sir, you played host to a delegation of PDP members from Cross River State.
Yes.
We understand that you are heavily supporting the PDP in Cross River State.
This is not the first time. I have supported so many states. It's just that most of them are not truthful. I've supported, like, I've supported
Imo?
Ondo.
Yeah.
Go and ask the former governorship candidate, Jagede. I've supported the Cross River severally. The Cross River severally. So what is the last by-elections? I supported a Cross River.
What about Edo State?
I have supported them very well. You know, now that, you see, Cross River came to me after they also supported in the primary, and I thanked them. And said, look, all of you are in election, the party, you have no governor, I support you. People who always read meaning, shouldn't they be happy? I'm not from that state. I'm supporting the party. Should I not have relaxed? Done my business. Making me.
One would say those persons are in their own state and you are in your own state. When you talk about support to another state, what dimension of support is relevant?
Financially. Okay. I told you the last primary, the last by-election that was held in go and ask Lee Elimoke, who was the one who funded the election. Ask Lee Elimoke.
Yes, we may just have to. Gentlemen, we may have to probably end this session here because of the weather is being some fast one on us. We'd like to thank you so much, Your Excellency, for finding time to be here. Even though we are calling this off where we still have some minutes ago. Kayode, your parting shot?
Well, my parting shot is, I just want to ask you.
No question.
Well, it's a short one. You always, dance to this line. As they pain them, it is sweet us. Yes. Are you happy with what's going on now? Great instead.
Have you ever seen me being angry one day?
Okay.
Since we are interested in carrying this to a logical way, let's take another break and see whether we can actually continue the interview. Maybe we'll take a quick break for like a few minutes and we'll see how we go from there.
All right, thank you.
Will all sins be forgiven, including those of corruption, allegations of corruption and all that?
Let us start with one thing first. What is the major issue? The major issue is as regards the position in the South. That is in the tradition of our party. That the presidential candidate comes from this zone. The chairman will come to that zone. That's the major problem you have. Any other matter can be settled internally. But I'll stick to this first. And then we move on. Have we added anything? Have we ever said the candidate should come and talk with us, what we give to our team? I think that's what they expected. We are above that. We are above that. Let me tell you why we cannot even do that. If you go and settle with the candidate, give you this, he would agree. He enters as a president, he can sack you. So what is that? Why do I reduce myself to that level? I don't do that. I will not do that. So I've been in this politics. I know the way it works. There are things you can't come and bash me, give me, to satisfy me. It's not correct. It's like somebody said, you are anointing somebody to be a governor. And then you are taking a hook, line, and sinker that the person will continue to do a bidding. No, we are human beings. Until you realize that, there's no need for you to even see. The only person that cannot fail you is God. But if you put confidence in man, you are failed. So for me and my team, we do the right thing. We are not going to interfere in whatever you want to do. It's not our business. The time I met with the candidate, I told you, I will not be a minister, but I will walk. I won't do it. All right. I'm not one of those politicians that are handling for things for you to get, like most of them are doing. I will not do it. To the glory of God, I thank Him. I thank my Almighty God. I was chairman from 1999 to certain time, I became a chief of staff, I became a minister, now a governor. For Christ's sake, can't you thank God that He has overdone for you? You are not the only one that He will show love. So I'm not that kind of person. So do this one. It's for the people of the South. Give them their position. If taking the presidential candidates, give the chairmanship to the South. That is what we agree. Agreement is agreement.
All right, Mr. Governor, with these issues on pressure on you, either to come to their party or work for them by any means, do you receive any kind of vibes from other political parties?
Who will see me and my people that will not go and lobby us? Why are you saying? Tell me who will see the vice state governor and the other members of our team that will not lobby them? Well, I mean, you see a beautiful girl, people rush to that beautiful girl, their house, sort of thing. That does not mean that if the beautiful girl makes a mistake and rushes into something that will put her into trouble, that's why you see sometimes marriages collapse within. Today you did the marriage, after 2 months it has collapsed. You find out that it's fake, right? So people will come to us. People don't go to our own candidates. Our candidate is also talking to other people in other parties now. That's politics. So you want me to deny nobody's coming to me, and so that I'm afraid of the
Extraction. Your Excellency, so that we have some little time to also ask questions about governance issues generally in Rivers State. Maybe this should be the last question on politics. When is the PDP in Rivers State starting its campaign?
When?
Yes. And how ready are you?
What is called campaign? We are campaigning. How are we campaigning? Project. Now, as we come back from Abuja on 21st, another round of projects, commissioning. The cancer center, this road, this one, that one. That's what we are talking about, campaign. Because people will ask you questions. What did you do? When we go to Akokoto now, the people will say, sir, we'll vote for your party because you told us you do the Obodomo Bridge, you have done it. Sir, you told us you do the ring road, you have done it. Sir, you told us you will do the Obodomo survey, you are doing it. Sir, you told us you put the school back, you have done it. That is campaign, right? Now, you go to mention the local governments. Mention them. That is campaign. Campaign is not to go to the podium and tell lies. Electoral should ask people who are coming. Ask them. You told us you would do this. How far? You told us you would do this. How far? Challenge PDP River State. You made a promise to us. Every local government will have an impact. Yes. Mention one local government out of 22 local government that has no impact on this administration. I challenge any local government. Let them go on newspaper. Let them go on national television. To say, as I speak to you today, we have no impact. We have no impact on this PDP administration. I challenge that local government. It's not easy for a politician to come out on national television to say he challenges any local government. Is it school or is it, you must get school, you must get hospital, or if you have not got road, mention. So this is what we call, in fact, okay, let me tell you, I just got a text. There's one road in Emoho local government, Mbutanwa Road. That road is the community of Senator Andrew Ibonule Uchendu. He is, when he says, I don't know how to call it, unrepentable supporter of my predecessor, former Senator former House of Reps member. He was in the government from my predecessor, 8 years. His community had no road. No road in the local government. Today, even if it's the community rural area, go there now, street life with a road constructed by Julius Berger. So I'm going there to commission the project, and I'll be dancing. Your son was there. He had the opportunity. He couldn't do it. I have done it. Who would they believe?
Well,
my predecessor, he had his commissioner of lands from Omarelu. When I was there, the commissioner asked his governor, please sir, help me, let me do the internal roads of my community. I'm a commissioner. He's running for House of Reps now. I have gone to the community, Omarelu. I have done the internal roads. I will go to the community of Omarelu. Your son was here. I have come. I promise you.
So it's also to score political points as well.
No, it's not about political points. First of all, are the people happy? Before you talk about political points, it's when the people are happy, you score political points. When the people are not happy, will you score political points? Do the thing for them, then you get the political advantage.
Not political points.
No. So do something for them. That can make you get a political point or political advantage. But if you don't do anything for the people, how do you get a political advantage or political point?
Right.
What makes you to have a political point? It is what you have done for the people.
Well, this rain, I think it was also meant to be a reminder of the fate of a lot of communities in Rivers State that are flooded currently. I mean, seeing the sights, the images, they're really sorry images of the people. I know you announced 1 billion naira for those people who have been affected by flood. I know you raised a task force. Perhaps there was a meeting yesterday, but what is the process really of ensuring that these monies are dispersed to the people, the right people, to ensure that at least there's some alleviation?
Let me tell you, I like supervision. It's unfortunate. It's a natural disaster. It happens every year to us. And so River State is not different from what happened in other, those who are very close to River Niger and the rest of it. So when this happened, in fact, it's not 2 local governments, it's 3. Ahuda East, Ahuda West, and Obobo Mandani were heavily devastated. Then, the day we released it from, it happened to Ahuda East. So we now brought in Ahuda East. So there are 3 local governments. I set up this task force. Ordinarily, if the deputy governor was around, she would have headed the task force. But because she traveled, and so we have to sort of, we didn't want to say, oh, Ministry of Special Duties, who normally takes care of these emergencies, should have the same no. It will be a task force. And the money will be domiciled in government house. So I will know how they are spending the money. I don't want the situation where you say you send the money to special duty, or this happened, that happened. I don't want that. I must know, yes, how did you spend this 1 billion? When did you go? I will approve. How you are spending. Yesterday, they brought paper for how much? For the logistics to move in there and there and there and there. They brought the number for 55 million. I approved 45 million. I said, this is not justified, it's not justified, it's not justified. So release 45 million to them. Go for the logistics you want to do. When they go, they will assess and they will meet the community and talk with them. They are not going to dash communities money. They are going to send relief materials. What do they need? There are things, you see, the problem with government. Government sits on its own and sends relief materials. We don't know what the people really need. What do they really want as their own need now? And they will tell you, when they tell you, sir, what you need is materials, foam, this. Then you have heard from them directly. Then you go and purchase and send to them. Nobody is going to be paid 1 naira. Don't do that. But if you try that, it will cause a lot of crisis. So if you go to Obobo Mandani, the communities affected, what are their immediate needs. Then the committee goes, they are working with the council chairman of these 3 local governments, because they are the ones that will know the communities that are fully affected. And from there also, as in terms of expanding, in terms of making sure that these things get to the communities, we have handled it. I can assure you that there will be no kind of, when government said they will release social amount of people outside say, are you sure? Are you sure it's not part of the way of siphoning money? That's what, I mean, I'm sure too. That's what CMI pay after.
You can't read my mind, Your Excellency. That's not fair. Only God can read our mind.
No, but it's true. Because you see, sometimes some people in government, and that's why there's no more trust in government. Some people have seen that when you say you are donating 1 billion naira, sometimes the way of carrying people, carrying government money, and you say, oh, that's spending on community.
No, but from preliminary reports we are getting, are you likely to be asking for federal government support as well, like other states?
But generally, I don't need to ask.
Considering the fact that we have the ecological fund.
But they have NEMA. Yeah. They have NEMA. Ecological fund has to do with erosion, not on flooding. NEMA is an agency that takes care of emergencies like all this flooding, right? So, it is a responsibility of federal government. Mind you too, anything that has to do with water, the state government has no control. Mind you, they have no control. And we find ourselves just like in Florida, in where this place in America, every year you see these hurricanes.
Hurricanes.
It is not their fault. There's nothing they can do about it. But just to take steps in order to see that their citizens don't suffer. But our problem in our own country is that nobody, they'll say, oh, prepare. Prepare what? To move. What have you done for them to move? You've not done anything.
Well, in order to prevent this in future, I mean, speaking to some of the community members, they said that, when they were younger, the water level, as it used to be, has dropped because perhaps there's now more sand in the channels and maybe it needs dredging such that there can be more capacity for the water.
I agree with you. I asked, what is this problem that we cannot dredge River Benue and River Niger? Each time I overfly Benue, you cry. Look at the sand, which is another source of making money. Yeah. We wouldn't have had this problem to this extent if we dredge River Benue, River Niger continuously. But the politics, I do not know. I can't understand it. Today, you hear they've awarded dredge Calabar. Today, all kinds of politics. Who is interested for River Niger, for River Benue not to be dredged? That will cause so much hardship to our people. How can a government, from time, not this government alone, even the last, refuse to dredge River Niger? I heard sometime that they awarded the contract of dredging Calabar River. What happened? Where is the money? You see, you need leadership. You need people who can say, no, this can't happen. Where is this money? Why have we not dredged this? You need that leadership. One thing you find out here that there are people who believe that if you get a strong leader, they won't get what they want. So they go all out. Make sure he does not emerge. He will not listen to us. Not whether he will do the right thing. The only problem you have, he won't listen to us. Listen to you for what? Why not listen to Nigerians? Why you? Why you? One of the things that have made me today to survive in this state is because whether you're my friend, whether you're anybody, I don't give a damn. Now, if I give you work, if you don't do the work, you know you're in for trouble. In fact, one of the politicians came to my house this morning, and I called him and said, listen, I'm going to pick you. I went there yesterday, The job is not completed. He said, oh, it's consultant. I said, look, I don't want to hear consultant. He took my money. He took our money. That is the way, you see, you don't do something that is for the interest of the people, I begin to play politics with it. We have suffered this fate of it's too hard. They won't listen to us. I am not going to listen to anybody. I'm going to listen to Nigerians.
You said you regret.
I'm going to do the work for Nigerians.
Yeah, let's start talking about projects because time is not really a friend now. Talking about projects, you've been commissioning bridges, roads, and all that. Is there anything you would have loved to do, but time is no longer your friend, just like it is now on the program? Is there anything you would have loved to do in terms of infrastructure, but that you may not be able to, do now that time is short? Would there be a project?
I can't hear you well.
I'm saying in terms of, projects and timelines, is there any project, for instance, that may not meet, the end of your tenure, lapse? Is there any project within the state?
Yes, certainly. My thought would have been that I should have done the ring road that would have taken from Okrika to Eleme, from Eleme, down, coming to Port Harcourt, down to the airport, to Choba. That, I called Jonas Vega. Up to now, they are doing the survey. And I said, listen, this is a project that if I had had time, I would have done. It will be capital intensive. In fact, from the budget they gave, it can be less than, because it has about 3 flyovers. It will take about 70 billion. So for me, if I'm in the office now, and what I was advised my predecessor, my successor, PDP governor coming May 29.
If it's the wish of the people.
No, people will win, so we are not talking about that. if there's one state anybody knows people will win, it's Rivers. You don't need to go and pray over it. It's certain. God knows that we have kept our words and our people. So, if in my handover note, unluckily for me, I didn't get any handover note, but I will give a handover note. And in my handover note, I will recommend to him the gridlock in Port Harcourt will be finally solved if we are able to achieve this road. Even if you release 3 billion naira every month from your IGL to pay, you find that in 2 years' time, you have almost finished paying. It's a huge project, but it will change the entire state. So, Jonas Berger is still surveying. I pray that when they finish and design,
you leave the template.
I will leave, if we can approve it and go. But we recommend to our successor, please help this state by doing, no matter how huge it is, but it will help the state.
That would be like a ring road by rail.
Yes, it's a ring road. When it's rail, I don't want to use the word rail. There's no rail. I don't involve myself in rail. So talk about roads.
Yeah.
I use the word roads. I know. So if he does that, you will see that this state is completely. Like now, there's nowhere that say you have no access to road. We are doing the transcribable road.
Right.
In fact, we are going to contract because we are paid 100%. The Sabunwa to Kono Road, we are paid 100%. The road from Eche to Ibodo, the boundary between North and Imo State, which is about 21 kilometers, 27 kilometers, we are paid 70% of the money.
All right, Mr. Governor, share with us, with all of this infrastructure you're doing, one would expect that the debt burden on the state will be huge.
No.
Because there are some of the infrastructure are really expensive. Share with us the debt profile, if there is.
Unfortunately, there's no debt that I would incur for my successor company. I tell you this, 2 banks we have collected money from. The one of Access Bank will expire November this year. We took loan from them and they collected 950 million every month. So it will expire November this year. Another loan we took from Zenith Bank, which will expire in March next year. So these are the 2 banks. Any other loan is had to do with, okay, central bank, which of course, you know, it takes infrastructure loan, you say you should pay it. Most is wrong for it because it's, you don't pay huge, or loans that under the military that they have collected before we came, which they deduct from us through FAC.
So all projects have been paid for?
There's no project I have started that I will leave here without paying for it.
All right.
Even the ones I'm awarding now, I pay 50%. So I don't do projects when there's no money.
Your Excellency, we have just about 3-4 minutes to end this session, and let's end on developmental note. Recently, you signed 3 laws. You signed the River State prohibition of the curtailment of women's right to share in family property, law number 2 of 2022. You also signed the River State compulsory treatment and care of victims of gunshot law number 3 of 2022. Then there's River State pension reform amendment law number 4. But the first one is of interest to so many people.
Yes, in fact.
Are you saying that this has been a problem in River State all these years? Women being denied?
Not just this. One thing I'm so happy today, that I'm leaving office as a happy man, is that I signed this law that prohibits or denies women of their rights simply because they are women. I've never seen a society that develops without women contributing. How can any man at this moment in time will tell me, I have a daughter, and my daughter has married, and therefore she has nothing in the father's house? What kind of society is that? 2, my daughter did not get married to anybody, and therefore she has no say in the father's house. How can such society develop? And for me, this is one achievement I've made, is that achievement of abrogating that custom. It's repugnant to natural justice. I mean, natural law, equity, and justice. How can you, anybody, look at you have a daughter, you sent her to school, very intelligent girl. She has a master's, she has a PhD. And then you have even the boys who don't even do well. And then all they're interested is all because the father has something. They begin to do whatever. And then the girl that made you proud, because she's a girl, she's not entitled to anything. I will not accept that. Why did I send her to school? 2, even in political offices, it's very difficult, I can tell you. Forget about the men who come out on national television to preach. In this state, it has been a problem for me. To make a woman a councillor is a problem. Even a chairman of the local government is a problem. When we sat down, most of the politicians, all of them, not even 98% of them, refused. They said, no, governor, go and do your own local government. So, I said, okay, I have to appoint a woman to be chairman of my local government caretaker committee. When we came for electoral office, I saw that there was sabotage. I said, okay, every local government must have a woman as deputy chairman. I said, yes, I did it. 2, every local government must have at least not less than 4 or 5 women councillors. They were murmuring. I said, sorry, too bad. I mean, I can't understand a society where, look, I can tell you the truth. When I was from executive council, the ladies there were one of the best, I can tell you.
And I'm sure you can even speak to that because your wife also has proven to be.
Yes. Okay, now see, I have a wife. Doing very well, intelligent woman, a judge of the High Court. And then you tell me she has no rights in her family. What kind of situation is that?
Oh dear.
Who allows that? Yeah. So today I'm happy. If I'm going with anything, that's one that I have. So women now can go now and challenge any so-called custom that said they don't have a right over their father's property.
Your
we
Excellency,
have to
talking
run
about
now.
going, you know,
we
since we are going
have to
around,
go actually because of time.
just one.
We-
You are going to retire.
We don't have the time
We
anymore.
actually don't have the
We
time.
don't have the time anymore. We have to wrap up now.
I know it's always quite interesting speaking with you, but we have to wrap up right now. Perhaps we'll do this another time. So on behalf of my colleague from the NTA, from the TVC, from AIT, and of course here Channels Television, the news leader, I would like to thank you so much for your time. Perhaps we'll do this another time. So thank you very much. I wish you the very best. Also, that's been the program. Yes, always interested in speaking with Governor Nyesom Wike, but we have to run. Till then, goodbye.
You've been watching a live Channels Television event.